You are my hero, my guy. Thank you for calling out Shaq. This is one of the most absurd takes of all time.
Alright, what's up everyone? So we're checking in from the couch today because there's always been something that's pissed me off about sports media. And it's that as someone who's always wanted to talk about sports for a living and now I'm lucky enough that I get to do it, I've always been anti this movement of ex-athletes becoming media personalities. Because truthfully, I think most of the time they just suck at their job. So today, we're going to react to some of the worst takes by former NBA players on TV. This is going to be fun.
All right, let's just jump right on in because this is one of the most absurd takes of all time.
Michael Jordan played before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He's a horrible player.
Scottie, my guy. What? How can you possibly? I don't even know what podcast or show he was on here, but what are you possibly talking about, my guy? How can you go on an actual program and say that Michael Jordan was a horrible player?
Horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots, and all of a sudden we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was.
There's a few key issues with the ex-player on TV and why I don't think they're actually that credible as an analyst. Number one is because these guys all have too many relationships in the league. We all know how Scottie Pippen and Mike don't really have a great relationship anymore. So obviously that's going to skew what Scottie says about Mike whenever he's on a podcast or a show. But most of the time, it's the other way around. These guys who recently were in the league and now are on TV are still friends with all the guys they're talking about in the NBA. So they're not just going to go on TV and talk badly about their friends after a bad game. They're going to be biased towards the positive, or they're just going to be biased towards their friends. And I mean, that Scottie clip is just absurd.
I think I got a new list. So,
oh God.
The top 5 NBA players ever. We got Oscar Robertson, MJ and Kobe, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a future prediction and just say Kyrie's gonna be pretty good.
I mean, that has to be a joke, right? Maybe some of these are just jokes. If Meta World Peace really thinks that Kyrie is better than LeBron James or Oscar Robertson is better than LeBron, there's literally zero argument that LeBron is behind either of those guys. It's one thing to say like here, perfect example.
I think Kobe better than MJ, skill-wise, yeah. He took everything Jordan did and multiplied.
I actually think there's some validity to this because obviously Kobe was a more modern version of Jordan. So if you want to say, yeah, like for his time, Jordan was better, but pure skill-wise, Kobe, that's all fine. But going back to that Ron Artest take, if he truly believes that Kyrie Irving was better than LeBron James, I mean, my guy needs to get a drug test immediately.
The real hoopers know that Kevin Durant is going to go down as a better, I think, better basketball player
Than LeBron.
than LeBron. At the end of the road.
To say that, because real hoopers know that Durant was better than LeBron, it doesn't take a genius. Like, that's just a hot take. That's no different than what someone like Stephen A or Skip Bayless does. But because he played ball in the NBA, he can say that, like, and we're supposed to believe him?
But I think he was a little bit more dangerous when he was with the Wizards. He didn't have the athleticism that we were used to seeing MJ have.
I'm a huge Rasheed Wallace guy. I love Rasheed's game. Wizards MJ was better than Bulls MJ?
Tell me this. Who's the better NBA player?
That's easy. I can say that off the bat. That's me. If you give me Shaq, if you give me LeBron,
This is a classic. And I actually am going to push back on this one. Everybody clowns Paul Pierce for this. I mean, this has gone viral a million times. But like, I'll actually defend him. What is he supposed to say? But again, this kind of comes back to my first take about Scottie Pippen. If these guys are supposed to be analysts, how are they supposed to be objective when they're literally talking about their friends and their peers? Like Paul Pierce is not going to be objective if you ask him who's better, him or DWade.
I think Dirk Nowitzki's 1-foot fadeaway is the most unblockable shot since the skyhook. Dirk Nowitzki's shot is very hard to block. But I don't think that he was able to have a dominant career because he couldn't do other. If he could have shot like that and rebounded and played defense and blocked shots, then he would have been all around and he would have gotten more credit.
What a strange take. I mean, Kareem's not completely wrong. Dirk was never a great defender, never a great shot blocker, never a great rebounder. But to say he didn't have a dominant career when he pulled off one of the greatest upsets in NBA Finals history, dominated that series, also won an MVP, led the Mavs to the Finals in 06, was the 1 seed in 07, and one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen as a big, the greatest shooting big ever. Like, what is he talking about? I don't know how, like, it's like he never watched Dirk play once. Now, if you think you have good takes about the NBA, then I would recommend checking out the sponsor of today's video, Underdog. Underdog is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Here are my picks for tonight's games in the NBA, so let me know in the comments what you think and if you're tailing or fading. And yeah, look, Underdog is available in 30 plus states, so make sure you use code DrewFenny when you sign up for a deposit bonus. All right, let's get back to the video.
Yeah, out the post, you can score and basket. He's a great free throw shooter. He's a great three-point shooter. He's a great dribbler. So you're saying the GOAT, and he ain't even as great in all the categories.
Who is? That's not a good argument. Was Jordan a great dribbler? No better than LeBron. Was Jordan a great three-point shooter? Wasn't better than LeBron. Was Jordan a great free throw shooter? A little bit better than LeBron. It's not like Jordan's the GOAT in all these categories. That's kind of a funny reaction, though.
Christian, it's Shaq. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game and, you know, how you travel.
Man, you're a casual.
Thank you. Christian Wood, you are my hero, my guy. Thank you for calling out Shaq. How can Shaquille O'Neal be one of the most highly paid, big-time NBA personalities or analysts or whatever you want to call them on TNT, and he doesn't even know the players in the league? This is what I'm saying. These guys don't, like, watch every team. They're not studying tape. They're not, like... And not to say, like, I'm doing that all the time either, but I at least know who Christian Wood is. I mean, how do you go call a Rockets game as an analyst back when Wood was playing really well on the team and you don't even know who he was? Now, that's become a super funny meme. I wasn't familiar with your game, but, like, it's honestly sad. It's disrespectful. I don't care that he's Shaq. I'm a huge fan of Shaq. I think Shaq's actually pretty funny a lot of times on air. But I guess my point is that just because he's one of the 10 greatest players ever doesn't mean he knows ball.
I think Malik Monk is a better player than Donovan Mitchell. Just off the fact, if you look at the stats, Malik Monk is averaging
my reaction
15 and...
What? What is Brandon Jennings talking about, bro? Malik Monk is better than Donovan Mitchell. Here's the thing. If you want to have a crazy take, or if you want to have a hot take that you can defend, like, I'm all for it, man. I'm not saying everybody needs to agree on everything when we talk hoops, because obviously we don't. I have my fair share of takes that plenty of people disagree about. But, like, to say that Malik Monk is better than Donovan Mitchell, I'm trying to just think of, like, a single reason why that could ever be true. It's just absurd.
So, Perk, what did Middleton prove last night?
What I've been preaching time and time again, that he's the Batman of this team and Giannis is the rock.
This was like such a low era, that whole like Bucks finals run and the Giannis disrespect. Chris Middleton is the Batman and Giannis is the Robin. What, like Kendrick Perkins? Like what are you talking about, dude? I don't know, man. I think you guys now see how worked up I am over all of this because it's all just so absurd. Just because Kendrick Perkins was a million times the better basketball player in his career than I ever was, just doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about more than I do. Basically, these guys are all casuals, is my final take. And that's okay if we're expecting them to just be entertainers. But most of the time, I don't even think they're that entertaining. Is Kendrick Perkins that entertaining on TV? I don't know. Like, sometimes he's kind of funny. So I don't know, man. This was pretty fun. Shout out to everybody who's watching to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content. And if you want to see a part 2 of this video, because trust me, there's plenty of more bad take content out there from former athletes, drop a comment and we'll make it happen. Until next time, peace.